Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Gav, aka BEYTEK, and in this video what we're going to be doing is talking about and maybe doing a little bit of the new chapter of the RX7. So many of you know the direction I'm going in. Recent times, in the past few years, I've always struggled with traction, and I've always wanted to try and do something to help out. I've tried suspension, geometry, big fucking wide tyres, all sorts of stuff to try and get the power to put down in this little beast. It's not a wild amount of power, but I go to say it's probably one of the fastest street RX7s on the planet. And yeah, as you guys with big power RX7s know, it's very scary trying to put this power down. So I've decided to do something that no man has done before. And this is not a dig at Rob Dam. But the plan is to go all-wheel drive on my RX7, stock body. Now, this conversion is not going to be easy. Like, I'll show you some of the issues I'm going to have about going through the all-wheel drive, some of the challenges I'm going to have to come across, and you're going to realise for yourself, fuck, this is not an easy task. Nothing here is going to be bolt-on. It's a full blank drawn board, and I'm just going to go ahead, take the grinder out and just do what I have to do. Okay, first glimpse of the shit I've come up with. I don't even really know where to start, and I will be keeping some specifics to myself, not trying to be snidey or secretive, but I will be keeping these parts to myself just now, because I don't really know what's going to fit, and I don't really know, what's going to work. So I don't want to say, oh, I'm using this and this, and then you guys message me 6 months down the line saying, no, this doesn't fit, because to be honest with you, none of this is going to fit. So what we'll do is we'll start at the rear end. The rear end I'm using here is from a BMW X5 E53 model. The diff ratio I'm going to be using is a 3.64. The prop shaft, I'll just make one out of BMW parts. It's a ZF output flange on the box and the CV style on the back, so I should be able to make something up pretty easily there on the lathe. This gearbox here is the party piece. It is a ZF8 HP 75Z with obviously the ATC 13-1 transfer case, which is the strongest one. I mean, you wouldn't think it looking at the fucking prop shaft going to the front, but Adapter plate I'm going to be running, that's the DCT one I made up just now. The adapter plate I'm going to be running is actually Domiworks. This is a Domiworks bolt-on kit. Basically, it saved me a lot of time. So yeah, I'm excited about joining the sort of bolt-on realm of car stuff. But yeah, at least that'll work a treat. Obviously the shaft will need to be made up, and the shaft goes to the front diff. So the front diff here is also matched with the rear. It's an E53 BMW X5 front diff, and it's a steel casing that I'm just going to have to try and mount somewhere inside the car. I've just bought these arms and hubs. The reason I'm going to use these sort of hubs is obviously because the RX7 one doesn't have front wheel drive hubs, and there is restrictions I'm going to show you in a second about the RX7 going all wheel drive. Now, something I'd like to clear up is the whole changing from DCT to ZF8. The DCT box just has worked perfect for the past couple of years. It's fucking phenomenal. It's one of the things I didn't really have to worry about. After I sorted that broken clutch basket, it's been an absolute dream. And I'll be honest with you, the DCT is probably a better box than a ZF8. I know it shifts faster, it can rev higher, probably takes more power up top. There's a lot of unknowns as well with the ZF8 stuff due to RPM. And maybe having a Honda engine in front of it is maybe not the best. I would like to go V8 maybe someday, but money's not there for it just now. So as always, this is a DIY sort of style video. So yeah, I've sold the DCT box. Now, when it comes to controlling the ZF8, the max ECU can do it if I was to wire the solenoids individually. It would take me a lot of time to tune and sort of dial it in, which I think I'm already going to have enough trouble as it is, with the 4-wheel drive setup and getting that all dialed in. So I've decided to go for a standalone TCU transmission ECU for the build. Now here, I'm not going to be snidey, I'm just going to tell you how it is and straight facts. So there's two main companies out there that do gearbox ECUs for these. We have one called HTG and we have another called Turbolamic. Now, HTG, I've spoke to them and I've seen their stuff online, and you know, they've maybe not had the best start in life with some issues with some boxes and stuff. Maybe down to user config, maybe, I don't know. I'm not getting into that. But so yeah, with HTG, you know, that's the two options I had: HTG or Turbolamic. The HTG stuff seems to be working now with their new updates, and you know, they've gotten on top of a few maybe issues they had with config and stuff. So that's a viable option. But the way I'm going to go with this build is Turbolamic TCU is bolt in. Fuck it, the boys come online, they just, you know, they just specialise in the ZF 8 HP, and yeah, it's just one and done. So that being said, with such a big conversion with all different stuff I'm going to use the Turbolamic TCU. These come from a Mazda 6. Probably the only part I use from this is drive shafts and the hubs. The rest is definitely not going to fit. The brake discs on them as well are like 315mm or something like that, so they are bigger than the standard RX7 brakes. The calipers are just beefy. It's from a beefy car, you know, but I have been looking at Tesla brakes online. Brembo's Teslas, you can pick them up for £140 for two, which is nice and cheap, and obviously they're really, really good brakes. So I don't know what you guys think. You can maybe comment below what your opinions of this is, but basically that is around about where I'm going to be setting this diff. The diff maybe have to go back a little bit more. As you can see though, you have a chassis legs in the way, so that's the first issue with going front wheel drive in an RX7. The second one as well, there isn't really much room or any sort of path for a front prop shaft. The next issue, the bulkhead. For me putting this diff here, the engine is going to have to go back into that bulkhead. Issue number 3, like you say, just cut a piece out of the chassis leg. Yes, I wish it was that easy. The subframe mounting points, all the bolts, etc. are exactly where I need to cut. Therefore, I would need to make a complete custom subframe and mounting points, etc. underneath the chassis legs. That means I can't use the standard arms. My original hope was to use these ball joints and fit them into the Mazda 6 knuckles, but obviously these are tapered, they're pinned. I could make tapered to pin adapters on a lathe, but everything else is fighting against it. The shock is in the way. You can't bolt anything to the back for a drive shaft, and the double wishbone is going to have to go. Now the back end of the car is just the usual sort of stuff, you know, put the diff up in place where I need it to go, and just weld brackets from the subframe onto it, so that should do. And then that's where I'm at. That's basically where I'm at. So I've got a plan. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I'm going to video it all on YouTube, and you know, if you guys have got any recommendations or ideas of what sort of knuckles and hubs and wishbones I could do, please get in touch. Just drop a comment and let me know, because when you're doing this sort of shit on your own, there's no rule book, you're just sort of writing it, and yeah, it'll be good fun, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing on the road this year, and then hopefully all my traction woes have disappeared. Right guys, that'll do it for this short video, just a little introductory to the all-wheel drive K-Swap RX7, and yeah, as usual, we'll catch you in the next vid. Cheers!